Well, guys, how you doing? I have technical difficulties over here, I guess, because I did not press go live. I did a whole spiel about who I am, where I'm from, and everything that's going on. I looked at my screen and it says preview. So, we are live right now. I know that everything's going. Sorry that I'm a little bit late. I'm trying to figure out how this thing goes live without it. All right, now that we're all good, for those that didn't hear that big spiel, my name is Whitehead. I'm a singer-songwriter from Louisiana. I moved to town not that long ago. I say not that long, about 10 years ago. And I make music for a living. That means I'm a producer. I'm a songwriter. I've been through several publishing deals here in Nashville. And again, apologies for being a little late. I didn't click the live stream thing, so we're going to get this thing figured out. So excited that American Songwriter is partnering with Music City Playbook to bring you guys this content. I'm so excited for you guys that are here tonight. What we're going to do is basically start a demo from scratch. And there's a lot of times as a producer-songwriter, that Hendersonville internet may be, no, actually it was complete user error. I was sitting here talking to all you guys out there, and it said preview on my screen. I should have clicked go live. So sorry about that, guys. But we're here, we're live, it's all going on. I just wanted to let you guys know that we are doing a partnership. Music City Playbook is partnering with American Songwriter to bring you guys some workshops. The very first one is next week on the 24th, and this is kind of like a teaser for what that will be. And the difference between this today, tonight, right here, right now, and what's happening next week is we're going to prep you guys. We're going to give you keys, BPMs, and let you know, those that sign up for the workshop, we're going to let you know so you can prepare tracks so we can collab together. You can send me your piano tracks, your vocal tracks, whatever ideas you have, and we'll be able to build a song out together and add everybody's parts in. Those of y'all that were on the Music City Playbook live stream a few weeks ago know how we kind of did that. Very, unplanned. I just went live one evening. A bunch of hit writers actually came into the chat box and helped us out finish the song. It was amazing. So what we're trying to do is just be able to let you guys experience what it's like to write a song here in Nashville or no matter where you're at. I'm sure, from my experience writing as a professional songwriter, you want to come in the room prepared. But sometimes you'll come in the room and nobody will bite on the tracks that you prepare or the ideas that you have. Anybody out there, let me know in the chat box. Anybody experience that? Well, it really happens to the best of us. And a lot of the times when that happens, you have to think really quick on your feet and you have to pull together something because it's your job as a producer to get things going in the room. How many of y'all out there are producers? Let me know in the chat box. This helps because I can go back and take a look at this and see who's tuning in. And it doesn't matter if you're just a songwriter. If you produce your vocal at your home, then you're a producer. It's your job to make stuff happen. It's your job to produce. So that's what I want to teach you guys here tonight a little bit. We only have an hour here tonight, but I wanted to show you how far I usually get whenever starting something from scratch. So like I said, I go into a session, I'm all happy, I got my 3 or 4 tracks. I hit play on it, and I kind of look at the vibe of the room, and it's not resonating. Dadgummit, what do I got to do? I play another track, not resonating. All right, well, I suggest let's just grab an acoustic guitar. Anybody got any ideas? Let's start from scratch. There's no big deal with doing that. Even if you prepared tracks as a producer, people can get so, oh, well, I prepared these tracks, we should write to them. No, you're just trying to start a fire. It doesn't matter how it happens. So you should know how to start a track from scratch. So I'll stop talking about it and start doing about it here. So let me come over here and I'm going to change the screen so y'all can see what I'm seeing real quick. All right, so what we got put up here is Studio One. And those that know me, that are familiar with MCP stuff, have known that I've recently switched from Logic to Studio One. And the reason being is because I love the way that Studio One handles audio. I don't feel like Logic handles audio as good as it could. So I've been bouncing between Logic and Pro Tools. But for those of y'all out there, Studio One is amazing. I'll turn that off. Okay. So what I did here to get this song started is I went to Splice. I always do this. If I was pulling something, trying to create something out of thin air, I'd go to Splice, see what kind of loop I have. This is the loop that I settled on. And that's nothing but a hi-hat loop. It's like there's nothing interesting about that, right? It has some feels to it. What I did is I drug this loop into my browser here in Studio One, and I chopped it up, and I just used the front end of it. So check this out. turn that metronome off. So I just used the front of that. So that might not seem like enough to get a song started, but if you don't have anything, you want to grab the quickest thing closest to you that you feel like you can do something with. So what I have pulled up here is an audio track that I'll probably do some acoustic guitars on, and I have a drum track. And the reason I feel like I can get something started with just this simple loop is because I can add more drums to this, and I get the live feel of that hi-hat loop. So I can add a groove underneath that pattern really easy. And all I'm doing is triggering the kick and snare. I have something lined up with that hi-hat loop. So that's how quickly something can start happening here. So let's go ahead and lay this groove. Awesome. So next thing I would do is come in here quickly and quantize. Anytime you're working with MIDI, you want to quantize. Not all the time that you want to quantize 100%. And what that means is taking all my imperfections as a human playing this keyboard, all the times that I was before or behind the beat, it's going to kind of smooth that out. So I select this quantize, I click apply, and you saw on my screen here where everything's shifted back. So now everything's kind of locked in time. So I'll find a loop and I'll just start looping it. So some of you guys are thinking, why would you start with drums? Don't you need a melody? Don't you need something to inspire the song? The reason I start with drums is because loops, to me, are the hardest thing to get inspired by. It's a lot easier for me to start with a loop and start building out my musical things. So if you're songwriting or if you're working in a session, you're trying to build out a session, start with drums. It's always the easiest. If you get someone bobbing their head, it don't matter really what the chords you put on top of. If the groove feels good, you're already winning. So that's the way I like to start. So for me, if I had an acoustic guitar, resonator, whatever I had, I want to pick up this resonator and show you guys how we can get something going on top of this simple groove here. Let me know in the chat box. Y'all seen how simple this is to get this groove going. I've literally laid 2 notes on the kick and snare, and then I drug in a loop from Splice. How many of y'all can do that out there? Let me know in the chat box. This here is a gold tone resonator. Sometimes I'll show up to a session with an acoustic guitar. Sometimes I'll show up with a resonator, a mandolin. It doesn't matter. But what really matters is, can you execute in the room with whatever instrument you're bringing? So let's check this out and see if I can come up with a riff to go on top of this. I'm going to kind of throw my mic down here. It's all right. Keep digging. That's what I would do. So let's try a different key. I know things are kind of off there, but I think there's something to that lick. Even if we took away the drums, that there's something to that lick. That's the cool thing. Even if you don't end up the loops that start you to your song idea, sometimes just getting the loops started will inspire you to play something on the guitar, and you'll go back and mute those drums and just start doing something on the on the resonator, which I think that's what I'm going to do here. So let's lay this part. That feels a lot better to me. It's a lot smoothed out. So I'll show you guys how we can hold off on those drums for a second and just work with this part and get some inspiration going. And a lot of times when you're working with the audio, a lot of people would quantize it. Sometimes, you know, I would want to keep it pretty loose if it's a banjo part. So think about that. If you're working with drums, you want that right on the grid. But if you're working with your guitar, if you're pretty good at playing to a metronome, you don't want to quantize it too much. You want that loose feeling. So let's see what we got. Kill that metronome. So that sounds pretty good. Everything sounds in time. Next thing I would do is come over here and go to the effects. If you guys are familiar with Studio One, it's kind of a drag and drop situation here, but you also got this eyeglass, and we can search for compressor. It's usually all the time what you're going to be grabbing to compress the sound. So here we go. Pull the ratio down a little bit, threshold up, makeup up. Not too much. What I'm looking for is this gain reduction here. I've got a little bit of compression. I'm going to go over here to my mixer. And we're going to get it going here shortly, guys. Y'all hang in there with me. But I just want to show you guys how to set up a session from scratch, because it's important. Now, all the time is everybody digging what you bring into the room. So I just threw a reverb on here. Now see there? We just threw some reverb on there, and all of a sudden I'm inspired. I don't know about y'all out there. That reverb sounds cool. All right. So what would I do now? Okay, let's go over here. It sounds like it needs a pad of some sort. So I would go to either Omnisphere. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Omnisphere. I'm all about stock plugins and stuff, but there are a few that I love, Omnisphere being one of them. Ooh, I'm scared to go to Omnisphere. It might crash this session. Ooh, that's the only thing about it. Y'all, those that know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna stay away from Omnisphere. I think Keyscape's a little bit more reliable, at least for me. I might have it down a little weird. Ooh, look at that. How come it always turns into this like pop stuff? I don't know. Just go with what you're inspired by, you know? A lot of times here in Nashville, people think, oh, your tracks need to be more aggressive. They need more of a male vocal. They need more of that. It needs to sound like Florida Georgia Line or something. I've never had success trying to do that. My friends have. I've had success writing the girly pop stuff, so that's what I love. So those of y'all out there, write what you love. So that's kind of what this is sounding like, some T-Swift vibes. I'll shut up and lay this pad right here. All right. All right, there's something in there. That keyboard sounds pretty cool. Are y'all inspired yet? Let's do this thing. All right, I know that I have my timing off here, so I want to go ahead, come in here just like we did last time. Again, all MIDI you're going to mess with, you're going to want to quantize somehow, but not that much. Let's see here. Why is it doing that? Okay, there it goes. That's right. Don't forget to hit that save button. That's right. Good advice. I just did that. So now that I have a keyboard spot hooked up here, next thing I'll do is come in here with some bass. And those that know about Keyscape, they have great bass in there too. So I'll literally drag another Keyscape on here. And then I'll go over here to the key bass. And when you come in here, you got several different options. Those on headphones may not hear none of this. But just to get a track started, you don't have to be committed to these sounds now. Like I said, you're trying to get a track started. And I'm being long-winded here as far as showing you guys and telling you guys as I do this, but the whole idea is throw something in there, get it started, get a tone, get a lick happening right now. You got co-writers in the back waiting on you. They're looking at you like, come on, deliver. So you got to show up. I'm going to try to get this on the first pass. It's actually pretty cool. And then they don't want to hear it do something. See, okay, this is how it starts happening because now I'm a little inspired to change this production. I'm going to delete this. Oh, I don't want to do that. Why did it delete everything? Why is it doing that? Guys, just to let you guys know that are just getting to know how I work. Usually I'm in Logic. I'm learning Studio One. I'm learning it to teach it in a way. I know what I want it to do, but I love the way it works. So I'm learning how to use this program to teach it to others in a way, but I still stumble around it just like you guys are, but I'm confident enough to get on here with it tonight because I think it's a great program. But forgive me if I stumble around and don't hit all this stuff immediate, but I also want to show you guys that you don't have to be like, you know, freaking pro or something at this to get a good sounding track. We're going to act like a pro because we are, but at the same time, I want to encourage you guys, it doesn't matter like what kind of tools you have, if you have Studio One, Logic, if you're on some kind of free DAW at home, as long as you have the ideas and you can execute the ideas, that's what really matters, okay? Alright, so we have somewhat of a groove here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those drums. I don't think that they fit at all. So the next thing I would do here is just come in here and start some kind of drum track. So what I like to do is come in here and call the XT. No, what is it? The drum machine. Impact or something. What's it called? Yeah, there it is. Impact. So what this does is you can drag any sample that you want in here. So those that are a part of Splice, you can come in here and get your one shots. Say if I come in here and type snare, this is the easiest way to find snares, guys. I'm showing you the cheat codes now. You're gonna spend all your time diving through these Logic and Studio One menus when all you have to do is come in here, check this out, and drag and drop this. You find a snare you like, then you just drag it on here. Let's see here. So now it's on my keyboard. All right, let's go find a kick. I'll come up here, I'll type in kick, and I can build me a drum kit, custom. Nobody else has probably built a kit like this today, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to go to all the stock sounds, even though I do like stock sounds. All right, there is kick snare. Let me get a hat real quick. And that's my hat, so there it is. All right, let's see where I want to put that. Okay, so check this out, guys. All right, that's on the fly. Let me change that hat. Oh, that's the one I like better. Okay. So I've just assembled a kit. Anybody can do that. I just had to put up, they have the same plugin or something similar to it, this drum machine. It's called the sampler in Logic. You can do the same thing in Logic, but I like it in Studio One. It's really quick. And this is not something I used to use all the time. I started using it because I got into Studio One. But now, why would I want to change that drum? We went from more of a realistic sounding drum to kind of like a sampled sounding drum. But that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Let's listen to this. I start that thing at the wrong thing. Let me drag it to the top. Delete that bass. But y'all see what I'm saying? I just drug that kit in. We're producing a song pretty quickly. And if I wasn't talking at the same time, I could throw this together quicker. But let's just go ahead and lay some of this and see what it sounds like. 3 tracks here. All right, punched in a little groove there. Next thing I would do is come in here, and y'all guessed it, I would quantize it. Come in here, highlight it, apply simple quantize. Boom, that's when I want the bass to come in right there. So now we're producing out a track, guys. We got a couple tracks pulled up here, and we're not going to overthink this and think that it needs 1,000 different instruments right now. We're just trying to get a simple groove enough to start writing a song. So I'm going to lay this bass part. Here we go. Oh, you know what? See, that would be better for a chorus. I want to hold off on those whole notes. Oh, going to go to something like just more like clicky. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it right there. All right, here we go. All right. We're going to go ahead and quantize that. No things sound kind of weird here. All right. Where's my quantize button? Ooh, let's see how that goes. And it quantized it weird. Okay, this is a good teaching part, though. Okay, so whenever you hit your quantize, and it was turned on 8th notes, whenever it should have turned on 16th. See how it did that? It took away all my notes. So you want to be careful on your quantize that it's set to the right parameter here. So I can come down here and reset it, double click this again. And what I'm doing here is changing the beats by it's correcting. Instead of 8th notes, I want 16th notes. Sounds pretty cool. Again, nothing world-changing yet, but we just got started. Y'all hold on. And really, honestly, it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours to build out a full demo that I'm happy with. If I'm doing like a legit production, like it'll take me weeks because I'm going back, I'm replacing parts, I'm trying different sounds, you know. But when you're getting something started, you know, you just want to be able to come in here and throw a couple loops together and not have to think about it too much. And just enough to get the vocal down for the writing session, you know. So as I've got this starting to build out here, I'm going to add another layer of acoustic because sometimes you want to add the same performance done on a different instrument. So I might do the same thing that I did on the resonator on the acoustic. Make it easy on yourself. Just have a different layer. Or I could have like a more of a picking part. So I think that's we'll do both here. Let me go ahead and create a vocal, not a vocal track, but an audio track for my acoustic. Call this acoustic guitar. All right. Know that that's working. Y'all can hear me. A lot of you singer-songwriters out there are working on the guitar anyways. And this is a half step down. I need a capo. So you can play the lick different, you know, on different parts. Let's do that. Okay, I think that's cooler. Okay, I'd even replace that main banjo. What do y'all think? That first original banjo or this acoustic? I think it sounds cooler with the new vibes on it. I'm gonna take one more pass though. All right, I dig that. And we can also do a reverb on this or have both of them. Let's try what that would be. If we like put a little reverb on that acoustic and then had that resonator happening to one side. Let me see if I can get a little bit more action on this. What's going on here? Yeah, y'all let me know if y'all hear this resonator off on your right ear. And we got this acoustic here, and we're going to throw it to the left ear. And check how this sounds. All right, y'all. Now we producing, okay? So obviously with this loop and this vibe, you could be writing to this already, but as people are throwing around ideas in the room, if you want to lay down another guitar part, or if you want to find something from Splice to drop in, now's the time to do that. Start building layers, because there could be moments of this song where there's just one of these parts going, or there could be in the chorus where both of them are going, and you can start mapping that out, getting everything ready during the session. That way, whenever somebody has the idea, they can execute the vocal. You're ready on the track. All you have to do is turn the mic on. They put the headphones on. They're like, wow, this track sounds awesome. And all we're doing is copying the same parts on a different instrument, y'all. So this is how that sounds. And honestly, I didn't like how it went high on that acoustic guitar. I could fix it later, but we're going to roll with it for right now. Here's how it sounds with the beat. Okay, and if you were producing out, what if we wanted to go ahead and let that pointed banjo, what if we wanted that to kind of come in only at a certain spot here? Like whenever the track opens up even. Like that's usually the time to do something like that. So let's see if we can duplicate this track. I'll drag this down. And then I want this to only start here. That's a funky way of doing that, but I can't split a region right now. So at the intro, you have just your acoustic. Oh, I lied. Just the resonator. Just the resonator. I want to do it the other way, though. I will roll with that. So whenever it goes to the second part here, that's whenever it splits wide. So this is a production trick I use all the time. Same lick, different instrument. You have it focused in the center in the beginning. Then when the track gets bigger, it could be stereo. So I love doing that with stereo signals too, like having the same lick or whatever played on a different instrument. I think that's really cool. But let's keep going here. Let's think. Usually whenever you have transitions between a verse and a chorus, you're going to have obviously more instruments, obviously more impact, more kind of percussion stuff. So let me show you one of my favorite percussion plugins here. You producers that are online tonight, y'all are seeing all of my my favorite plugins that just I go to that are really quick. And this first, if y'all are familiar with Contact, let's see here. I spelt it wrong. There it is. Okay, I'm going to drag this in. Contact is a plugin that can host many other libraries. And my favorite by far is called Shimmer Shake Strike. I've done a video on this. Y'all need to check it out on the Mute City Playbook YouTube. We also have some some content coming out on the American Songwriter YouTube, but check this thing out. One finger, y'all. With one finger, it's locked in time. I hear 2 shakers and a back hit. Like, it could be a tambourine, it could be a snap, it could be anything. Doesn't matter what stage of your production career you're in, this plugin can come in useful and help you guys out a lot because it gets the momentum built in a track so quick. I'm not having to find 2 shakers and then another shaker for the backbeat. It's all here. It's built in. You can come in here and change the tones, of course. Have a clap. Come to the pattern. And I can change when all this stuff happens. So if I want the clap happening, you can adjust reverb, EQ. It's completely dry. And that right there, like that would work for in this chorus or wherever we would drag it. So I'm just throwing paint right now. And what that means is I don't know what the song would be. You know, if we had a verse chorus happening here, I could fly any of these parts wherever. So I just want to throw all the paint on this canvas right now. Then we can always fly it to where it's appropriate. When I say fly, I mean copy and paste. That's all I'm talking about. So now that I have this Shimmer Shake plugin pulled up here, I'll go ahead and give it a record and we'll see how that sounds with it. That's cool, guys. Y'all see how much energy that brings? And we are like 3 or 4 tracks in. I used to overthink this stuff so much. I used to think, man, I need 6 guitars, and I need a full drum kit, and I need to have it done by 2 o'clock. It's like, I used to stress myself out so much on this stuff. And I'm not saying that it's like easy, anybody can do it, but I will tell you it's easy. Anybody that puts their mind to it could come in here and throw this stuff together. It's all about knowing what sounds to grab and how to deliver in the room. So I'm pretty confident. Is this the best track? Does this sound like a #1 song right now? No, because we haven't written a song. But if we had a great song idea and we were communicating in the room and people were inspired by this, this would be a good launching off place. There's sometimes that you'll start going down the path of a song and then take a different direction and be like, you know what, let's just rock it on the acoustic guitars, and that's fine. But your job as a producer is to always create runway for whoever's in the room. The moment the session runs out of runway, you know, everybody starts looking around like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to go to lunch? Are we going home or what? It's your job to create that runway. So you producer songwriters out there, take it, you know, proudly to be your job to create that runway and being able to throw a track together like this. And if you have plugins, especially like this Shimmer Shake Strike, it doesn't take much. I'm showing y'all like the little secret plugins that I use that throw something together really quick. If you want to replace it later, you can. But for right now, let's see. For right now, that's enough to get a song started to me, you know. And a lot of times when you're in the room and say somebody says, you know, okay, print me this vocal. If you have the vocal, if you have the song written, you want to get your vocal down. Guys, the best thing that I've learned to do is go ahead and send that person a version of what you have that day or whenever you get a simple mix, and then take your time to go back, replace these parts, try different guitars, try different sounds or different sound libraries on it. But when you're in the session, you're just supposed to be throwing paint as quick as you can to get things up there. Don't be too caught up on your snare sound or too caught up on your guitar tone. Like, don't be too precious with that stuff, because whenever the moment of a song, that inspiration, that thing that you want to bottle, you got to strike when that thing is active. So you don't want to be hanging up on technical things whenever somebody's ready to write a song in the room. You want to get something out there as quick as you can. Let me know how in the comments how y'all are feeling tonight. We got about 20 minutes left here. So a lot of times people are like, Forrest, I don't know how to play guitar. I don't know how to play resonators. Well, guys, in this day and time, there are so many samples out there and sample libraries. And through Music City Playbook, we'll have sample libraries to where guitar parts like this. That simple part, there was nothing to that, but I understand for people that can't play that, they need access to these things. Join Splice.com. Join some of these sample sites that can give you these guitar licks that are inspiring, because you shouldn't ever have to rely on another musician. If you are a songwriter sitting at home right now and you have a laptop computer, you have every tool that you need to produce a professional record, guys. Times are changing so quick to where the technology that they're putting on Splice and in these DAWs, when I say a DAW, it doesn't matter if it's Logic, Pro Tools, Studio One, Ableton, whatever you're working on. The tools in there are enough and good enough for the radio. When I first started in this town, professionally, meaning like legitimately releasing a record, I've been in this town about 10 years, but my first big record came out about 5 years ago. When we were cutting everything on a laptop, the record label we were working with was like, what's going on here? Y'all don't book studio time? There's not all this money spent on cartage. Like, how are y'all getting this record done? It's because all the tools that were on their laptop, and it was right at that moment. I got to see that here in Nashville, to where people utilizing everything on a laptop and saving money by not going to the studios. And there's a time and place to spend a lot of money in the studios. I'm all for that in the right situation. But for you guys at home that want to learn how to produce a professional record, you have the tools right here, right in front of you, knowing how to use these tools. It's almost like, an artist buying a box of crayons at Walmart or something. If you're a true artist, it's just knowing how to use those tools. It doesn't matter, where you got the crayons, or if it's a good laptop, or if it's brand name, or if it's not. Your crayon is the laptop. You know what I'm saying? That's your tool. How you paint with it, the tools are there. It's how you apply yourself to it. So part of what we're doing, Music City Playbook, through American Songwriters, wanting to bring you guys workshops like this that kind of show you an inside view on how much, or to some of you guys, will look at this session and be like, oh, that's it? How little it takes to get a session going. And if you guys think that there's nothing to this, then I encourage you, guys, then look, I make a living doing this. If you apply yourself and can learn these tools and can serve other people in the room, that's how opportunities open for your career. For a long time, I wanted to, make a career in the music industry as an artist, or, as most people they want to be the star. The moment I changed that thought to making somebody else the star and learning production, like, if there's anything that you take away from tonight, this free live stream here tonight, prefer other people in the room. Learn a skill that serves somebody else. Because what happens is they leave the room, they go tell somebody else about you, somebody else. And then your reputation is, hey, you know what? He delivered a great session because he tuned my vocal really well, and I sounded great after I left that session. I felt really good about my voice. Even that right there, learning how to tune a vocal. We're not going to be tuning vocals tonight because that would bore most of y'all. But it's such a tool, So you got to know. It doesn't matter where you start. It's just a matter of utilizing the tools that you have right here in front of you right now. So if any of y'all out there agree with me, if this is hitting you, give me an amen in the chat box. No, but for real though, I want to know that y'all are resonating with what I'm saying here. I want to be able to come back. We're going to do another one of these live streams here in a few. Actually, I think it's either at the end of this week or next week. We have the paid live stream, which is going to be 3 hours long, working on songs together with you guys who are a part of it, that sign up. You will be able to send me tracks. I'll be able to mix in your tracks. And there will also be an option to get the session after and all that cool stuff. I want you guys to know that on the recording side of things, it doesn't matter if you have an iPhone and you can sing to a click, you can record in your iPhone and send me a track. You don't have to have some kind of fully fledged studio or something to be a part of this. So I just want to be clear on that. But I don't want to talk too much here. I want to go ahead and layer a couple more things here. And as we close out tonight, I want to let you guys know that please go follow us over at Music City Playbook on Instagram. And thank you so much to American Songwriter for giving Music City Playbook this opportunity. I'm blown away by it. To get on American Songwriters YouTube here and to provide this information for y'all, I'm just blown away by it. So, Music City Playbook is a huge passion of mine, and it's just showing people that, hey, if you want to dream in music, there are people out there that are applying it and doing it, and you can too. Some people think that's some cheesy stuff, but I'm very passionate about it because I had no idea how to make a living in music. So seeing somebody my age or close to my age that was doing it would have really encouraged me. And back in it sounds forever ago. Back in 2009, I'm about to say 1999. Back in 2009 when I first moved to town, there wasn't a lot of information about pub deals. There wasn't a lot of information about track guys. What's a track guy? I don't really like that name, track guy. I like producer. So for you songwriter producers out there, if you have a dream in music and you want to apply yourself and learn the skills, I encourage you to learn production. Learn how to tune a vocal, learn how to throw some loops together, learn how to get a moment created in a room, some momentum created. That's what it's about. Just doing a simple track like this. I mean, I know this is not a full fleshed out track, but it's enough to get an idea started. Wouldn't you all agree with me? I think I'm hearing something else. Let me roll this one more time. Oh yeah, dude, that's cool. I mean, this is kind of Mayerish, but like this could be a part that goes in like towards the end, but this could be like kind of like a different hook. Check this out. See, this is why it's hard for me to get on here and just do an hour. Because I'll just keep going. But check out this lick. I think that's sweet. It's like against the beat, you know what I'm saying? It's not perfectly on it. It's like before and behind it. I love things like that. That just brings so much groove to this thing too. Anybody hearing any lyrics out there? Do it one more time. One more time. Now this is live. I'm trying to keep it simple, but you got to hit them to the right, you know? I dig that. So if you have a couple different acoustic guitars, you're definitely going to want them sitting in totally two different spaces in this mix. So I'm going to take one of these guitars, I'm going to pan it all the way to the right, the other one all the way to the left. That's an age-old trick, that stereo thing, but listen to both of these acoustic guitars now and hear the separation in them. Two separate parts, panned away from each other, but listen to the balance here. So it sounds like a lot going on, right? It sounds pretty busy, but that's okay if you have them panned. That's why I want to teach you guys to pan things separately. If you have two parts, especially the same guitar part that's like a pointed tone, separate those things in the mix, and that'll leave your mixes less jumbled. Here it is in the context of the whole mix. I think that's really cool. Even just to like kind of warm up the track that way, like before the loop and everything else drops, like here it sounds like without the loop. Even just with snaps. You know what I'm saying? That actually sounds cool for a verse. Okay. I know we're getting close to the end here. I gotta at least throw a couple more things here for y'all. Because this is how it works. I took a minute, I was talking, and then I come back to it, I'm hearing completely different stuff. Oh, there it is. All right, went to splice. Let's drag it in here. Do this old snap, crackle, pop thing here. Everybody's like, why does pop country got to have the snaps? Because it's cool. I think it's cool. Because, I don't know, it just has that crunchy backbeat. So once I have those mapped up, to this copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So you can do it like that. All right, y'all. I mean, I know I have a couple co-writers in mind that I know that will be all over this, singing some verse melodies. I know that some of y'all at home are doing the same thing right now. But come on, y'all, even for that verse. I mean, what kind of melodies y'all hearing? Let me go ahead and loop this up for a second. Just kind of throw y'all a taste of like kind of a melody that I would hear on something like that. This kind of sounds like more of a chorus thing. And I don't know. I'm about to sing some gibberish. About to embarrass myself right here. But this is the way I write, so I'm going to just write like it. But if I were throwing a melody on top of this, it would be something in that lower register. Every time I let a minute sing, so I'm all out of the road. So literally, it starts with gibberish, something like that. You record a melody, you start filling in the gaps. Someone else is in the room, they're like, oh, what if it's this? Or, you know, I mean, that's the cool thing about co-writing. Someone else can inspire something, or they hear your melody, and they tweak it a little bit. So next week, on the 24th, on the paid workshop, if you guys in their chat box, or it may be a Zoom meeting, we're trying to figure out what that will be. But those of you are part of it, y'all give me a melody. I could either drop in this session, I could turn it into an instrument, or I could take that melody and tweak it, and it could be the lick of a song. It could be 1,000 different things. So I just want to encourage you guys, no matter where you're at, where you feel like you are creatively in your songwriter journey, just get started. Just put some stuff out there. And when I say that, it's like, you got to start somewhere. Your first stuff is not going to be great. My stuff sucked. Like, I could play y'all some stuff tonight that, you know, just embarrassed me forever. But the fact is, I am no different than any one of y'all at home whenever it comes to chasing down this dream. It's just like the applied action of just not giving up. Wanting to increase my skill, wanting to increase the people around me, the situations that I get myself in. I want to be able to offer those people something. So always just be thinking, how can I offer or make whoever is coming to work with me that day, how can I make their life easier? So a lot of that time, when people come to work with me, they want a hit song. Hopefully I can deliver a hit song for that. But if not, they're going to leave with an amazing track, with an amazing vocal on a demo that sounds as much like a hit as I can provide for them. And that right there is what has enabled me to be, I'm 30 years old now, and I've done music the last 10, 11 years. I haven't had like a real job or whatever that, you know, people call it nowadays. I mean, I worked at a pawn shop, I worked at a chicken store, like frying fried chicken, and then I got a publishing deal for $18,000 a year. And I'm sure a lot of people out there would hear $18,000 and be like, well, I can't afford that. I can't get a publishing deal like that. Well, times are changing. If you up your value and you learn production, you can get a better deal than I did whenever I started with just a guitar and a notepad. You know, I included production whenever I saw other people around me getting breakthroughs because they were producing demos. So I learned how to do it. That's why I want to learn. That's why I'm teaching it. Because I understand, even if you don't want to take this to a Nashville scale of, you know, monetizing your music career as the only thing you do. If you just want to make extra side money on the weekend, if you want to be able to produce your own records and release them to Spotify and them sound professional, learn these tools. Learn Logic Pro X, learn Studio 1.5. It doesn't matter what it is. Just learn how to utilize the tools that you already have at home on your laptop. I'm going to go ahead and change the screen here as we close out. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you to American Songwriter for partnering with Music City Playbook. And this is just scratching the surface. Those of y'all that know and have been to Music City Playbook workshops know that this is just scratching the surface of what we do on our workshops. A lot of times I want to be able to bring in guests. I want to be just over-delivering value. You know, I find a lot of times that whenever I want those of y'all at home to see yourself in different situations, meaning like, if you see yourself as a producer, you see yourself as an artist, as a songwriter, know that there is somebody here living out that role that you dream of. And know that it's not this far away thing that you can't achieve. It really does come down to putting your priorities in order and making sure that your goals are pointing you to that direction of achieving that type of success. You know, and it's not easy, but at the same time, it's worth it and it can be done. I'm one of the lucky few that have been here to be able to survive under a publishing deal and to writing songs for a living. That's the only thing I've ever done. That's why I want to teach others how to do it, because people think that, you know, this kind of thing doesn't happen anymore, that the music industry is dead. Yes, it took a hit. Yes, Spotify and streaming have changed everything. But let me tell you guys, it's coming back. And the ability to be able to produce things from your laptop in your bedroom, upload them to Spotify, and have that connect with the world has never been easier. You no longer need to pack up and drive to Nashville, New York, LA to record an album. You can do it in your home, you know? I mean, what's the pop girl, Bobby Eilish or whatever? Eilish, I don't even know. Her and her brother recorded that in their apartment, you know? So you think about those things and think, how can that apply to your career and your life, no matter where you are? If you're in Nashville, if you're outside of Nashville, what is stopping you from releasing your gift to the world? That is my message here for you guys here tonight on this free live stream. I want to encourage you to tap into your gift and release it to the world. The Lord gives you a gift for a reason. That's so you can release it to bless others with it. So closing here tonight, if you want to increase your music career and your success in any career, next time you walk into the room in any type of business, I want you to ask yourself, how can I make their life easier? How can I pull up a track, a song idea, or something? That's what I'm thinking about. How are you going to apply that in your life? Thank you again to American Songwriter, partner of Music City Playbook, bringing you guys this live stream. We'll have another free hour live stream coming up this week. And we have a paid live stream on the 24th, 3 hour, next week. So if y'all want to learn more about that, please sign up at American Songwriter. Make sure you follow us all on socials. Follow the Music City Playbook YouTube, Music City Playbook Instagram. And again, thank you to American Songwriter. We'll see you guys next time. Love you, MCP family, for being here, supporting this. And this is just the start, guys. So again, go out there and